Hey guys, Griquas versus Cheetahs take two. The first one decided it did not want to save. So here we go again. The Griquas versus Cheetahs, it has no effect on the log, just like the Pumas and the Bulls. I'll get into that now. Remember the Western Province versus Sharks game? That is cancelled for the second time this season. These two sides won't play, but they are playing in the semi-final. Getting into the log, we see the most that can happen from this game is the Griquas winning with a bonus point. They can maybe overtake the Pumas, but that's about it. Nothing else can happen. We know the Cheetahs are knocked out from the playoffs. Unfortunately, it is sad. We do not want to see them being knocked out because it's basically everyone's second favorite team. So getting into this game, it's being played in Kimberley. It's going to be pretty hot, 33 degrees. Amy Barratron, she's the referee for this game, and she's been brilliant so far in every game that she has been in charge of. So I'm excited to see how she does in this game. The last time these two played, the Cheetahs won by 28 to 9 points. The Griquas, unfortunately, 0 from 10 so far, so they haven't won anything. They've come close a couple of times, but last week they were thrashed by the Sharks, unfortunately. The Cheetahs, they came close, very close actually, against the Western Province last week. They lost in the 81st minute due to a long-range penalty kick. I didn't actually think it's going to go over. It did. They got knocked out. So they were good up until that point in the game. They've been good they've been good in the last 3 weeks so far. So I think they're in good form actually. Getting into the side, there is a couple of changes for both teams. Up front, there are two changes for the Cheetahs. They have Van Vieren and Van der Merwe. It's good to see Van der Merwe coming in because I said he's probably the better hooker at this stage. They have lost a couple of good hookers at the Cheetah side due to overseas side. You know, that happens at the Cheetahs all the time. So he's been kind of stepping up and he's finding his form there. It's good to see he's back again. Boan Venter, he's been scrumming really well. Unfortunately, last week they just didn't scrum as well as that Springbok front row of the Western Province, but still they have a brilliant scrum. Going up against the Griquas, look, with Nkoli coming back into that scrum, they are also a lot better. Beerwinkel, he is a good scrummager, but Nkoli probably a little bit better, so I think they also get a little bit better when he comes in. When you get to the locks, you get Cole Wagner and Higu up against Audrey Smith and Lindsay. It's two experienced lock pairings actually, especially with Audrey Smith coming back into that pairing. So look, the Cheetahs, they struggled a little bit at line-out time last week. The Griquas also struggled a bit. So how these two go up against each other is also an interesting matchup. At the number 6, I think Gideon van der Merwe has the upper hand there. He's been brilliant so far this season. Last week he had a brilliant game. Every week it just looks like he's playing a little bit better. It's probably one of those players that will get a big contract one of these days with one of the bigger franchises. Brilliant player, good at the breakdown time, loves carrying the ball into contact, getting meters as well, and making big tackles. Up against Ntila Cronje, he comes in at number 7 for the Cheetahs. Look out for this guy. He is going to play international rugby at some stage in his life. He is still very young. I can't say he's going to become a Springbok because we know Scotland and Ireland and those teams are also up for grabs for South African guys. But he is going to play internationals one day because he is a brilliant number 7. Up against Willemse, Momsen at number 8. Up against Rudolph, I think Rudolph is probably the better number 8 between those two. Rudolph has been in brilliant form this year. At the number 9s, Tiaan Meyer, he gets a start. He hasn't started much this season. To be fair, that the horse, he has done pretty well in this last couple of weeks. I thought that the youngster has held the fort pretty well. Burger at number 9 though, probably one of the best number 9s in the competition. That's what made this competition so good. Guys like Zak Burger, probably undiscovered a little bit. He's going to be a guy that's probably going to be on the wish list of a couple of big teams at this moment. He's a guy that has a nippy couple of runs in a game, gets through, gets a couple of passes through, and creates tries to the guys next to him. At the number 10s, it is Reinhard Fortuin versus Tinus de Beer. Tinus de Beer, he's been kicking really well at goal. Reinhard Fortuin holding down the fort as well. He's been playing well. He's just gets the gaps into the line as well. Playing good next to Franstein. Franstein at number 12, like I said previously as well, since he's started taking a lot of kicks, the Cheetahs have started playing better. He's started playing better as well, and he just doesn't miss any penalties, even if it is those huge ones. He's up against Swart Klaasen at number 13, up against another big number 13, Swanepoel. At the wingers, there's a couple of changes. Both number 14s with Kasinde and Sol coming in. The number 11s for both sides are probably the dangerous guys with Keeter. Look out for him. He will get a gap and he will probably score a try. Just like a guy like Spickman. Just spare a moment for him. He had a couple of big hits last week on him by the Western Province, but still scored a try there. He gets those gaps. At number 15, Blommetjies. He had a good game last week. He hasn't been exceptional this season, probably one of his more quiet seasons so far. But last week against the Western Province, good game. I thought he was one of the standout players, and that's why they did play a bit better. Up against Verity Am, also a find of the season. He's been more quiet in this latter stages of the season though. On the benches, there is quite a couple of changes for both sides. A whole new front row for the Cheetahs with Dawson and Van der Westhuizen coming in. Those are the two guys to really look out for. Mchunu as well, actually, because he's a guy that starts all the time for them. The Griquas, they have a couple of guys to look out for as well, especially a guy like George Whitehead. He is back for them after his injury he picked up in the unlocked season. Ashland Davids, and he is both a fly half, so I don't know what they are going to do at that stage when they do come on. Reino Smith and Ruben de Haas, they are the guys to look out for the Cheetahs when they do come on. They can bring some speed to the game. Guys, if I have to predict this game, I have to say the Cheetahs by 17 points. You can maybe let me know what your prediction is down in the comments below. Also, check out these videos next to me. Hit the subscribe button. And then next week, catch me for a couple of live videos when we get into the playoff rounds. Cheers.